From our location in Sweet Spirits Hotel in Freetown, Sierra Leone, welcome to On the Spot with Stella, the show that brings you game changers, innovators, and pace setters. We share inspirational stories, cultural, educational, and lifestyle issues affecting you and society. On this show, the spotlight is on you.
From our location at Sweet Spirits Hotel, tonight we are talking women in business. Now, at a time where we see women agitating for more representation in politics, especially as we have barely 11% of women in our newly formed parliament and cabinet, it is a far cry from the 30% female quota that has been advocated for and the many promises made by the major political parties. Now, moving beyond politics and into the corporate and business world, we equally see fewer women at the top or highly successful female-owned businesses. Many reasons have been cited for why we have such a low number of women at the top. However, some women have been able to rise against the odds and also launch their businesses in an environment that is said to work more in favor of men. Tonight on the spot, I ask, how did they get started? How did they make it? And above all, what impact are they making in their society? My first guest tonight is Fatima Sisay, the founder of Unimax SL, Get Well Pharmacy, and MAS Trading Grocery Store. Her journey into business started when she won a business competition by the British Conservative Social Action Project. She is also a member of the 232 Power Women organization. Thanks so much for joining me here on the spot, Fatima.
Thank you, Stella.
Now, your journey into business started when you won the business competition. But first of all, how did Fatima wake up one morning and decide, I don't want to do it the corporate way, I want to go into business? What informed that decision?
Well, basically, to just correct you a little bit, is I didn't start business when I won the business competition. My knack for business started all the way from school.
Okay.
And the people that have known me since school knew that this was where I was really heading. You know, some of my friends were always saying, Fatima, will you even get to university? Because back in school, I attended the St. Joseph's Secondary School.
Okay.
I used to do everything in class. I used to do. It's funny now, but that's how people. You see it in them when
Yes.
they're calling. And I used to sell stuff. I used to do things for my friends, and they pay me for my services. And
Wow.
so I've always loved doing business and being my own boss. And so I graduated from the University of Sierra Leone, Fabe College, with a degree in history and political science. And I started working for a leading logistics company. I think I only do 2 years. And during that time in my office, I knew that working a 9 to 5 job and it wasn't for me. I wasn't happy. And fortunately, I saw an advert on the newspaper where the British Conservative Social Action Project was calling for business ideas for a business competition they were organizing. And that's when I submitted my idea. By then, with me working with the company I had like difficulties in, sending documents. My boss was always on my back. Oh, you haven't sent this, you haven't sent that. And basically it was lack of good proper internet, or if you have to send somebody out with a company vehicle, they'll take hours. And so that's how
The idea.
how the idea was born, because I also look at how other countries were doing it, and it was more simpler and everything. So yeah, I submitted my business competition idea, which was basically a domestic courier service delivery, and I was shortlisted. We went to the British Council to present, and we were shortlisted, 5 of us, and fortunately I won the competition.
Wow.
And I continued working, and I think one day I just got up and said it's enough, because of course if you've won a competition, that means your idea is visible, and I truly believe in what I was trying to do, because I'm somebody that somebody can tell me that you can't. In fact, the more you say I can't, the more I
You
definitely
push
push to
for it.
prove you wrong. So, because I remember when I started, I think I was 25 when I actually said I'm leaving my job and starting my own business. And some people were saying, "Oh, this is a big woman, no more the kitchen, able one company." And you know, my fear of failure was what that has was what propelled me to actually go for what I believed in. And yes, I quit my job. I not rented, borrowed a one room, a one room office from a friend of mine that was operating from a place that they have a spare room in. Bought two bikes. Basically, at the time, they were even fuel. They don't use fuel. They were being charged with electricity. And yes, that's how Unimax took off
Basically started.
with a board printer for my dad, my old laptop, and some savings, my savings and my partner. And yeah, so that's how it started in a one room, three of us. And now Unimax is,
Is where it is today.
yeah.
When you think of it, you've not only done so well in logistics with
Well,
your
we're still
company. I
trying.
it's I would love to say it's a baby about to explode. That's
Yes,
what I'd
you're
like to
right.
say.
Yeah.
But somehow, somewhere, you've added uh, pharmacy, you've added grocery into your I'll call it business empire.
Well, well, yeah. The with me going into the pharmaceutical industry was based on Ebola, really,
Okay.
and during the Ebola epidemic, things were really tough with business. You know, people were not importing, and our services were like really, really slow. But at the same time, I saw that the pharmaceutical industry was
Was
booming
booming.
because you know there's a constant need for medication, health, and wellness, and so I was like, okay, so I'm not a pharmacist. I don't have a degree or background in health, but I can have. This is
You
something
have a
that I
thriving
can
business in that sector.
exactly. So with me, so basically, I see myself as the investor, and then we have
Wonderful.
the technical people who actually know the industry, and
And then
then
how did the grocery come about?
um, for me, basically, I'm somebody who take up opportunities. I don't sit and see opportunities presented to me and I don't take it. So that's why I love taking risk. And if you never try, you never know. That's for me. I can try. If it doesn't work, then
At
there's
least
no
you know you
shame.
tried. All
Exactly.
right.
So I had the
Well,
opportunity to when I was renting the store for the pharmacy, it came in where it was two store attached to each other, and the price was like really good. So this was an offer that I couldn't pass.
and you thought, just why not do
And
something else as well
and
to
and
take
because I
make
was
this
venturing into health, wellness, and all that, I was like, okay, so why don't I have the food side of this? When somebody is here, they can eat, they can get well.
okay? Well, I'm gonna hold you on that. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is On the Spot and AYV Television. Now, tonight we're talking women in business. My guest Fatima is here sharing a little bit more about her business. Now, you know, you are in logistics, a business
Yeah.
that a lot of people would, women, I'd say, women would not want to delve into. But the amazing part is during a downturn, during the period of Ebola, where businesses literally crashed, you saw an opportunity and you grabbed it. What you had no experience, no background when it comes to health or a degree in health or pharmacy, whatever the case may be, but somehow you saw an opportunity and you grabbed it. What made you do that?
Well, as well, maybe I have one of the good traits in being an entrepreneur, where you're not afraid to take risk. And before I actually go into the pharmaceutical business, of course, I did my research, and it makes it's made financial sense for me because the way I was thinking was that you, of course, in business you have to diversify. You find other channel of revenue, so that when one side of the business is not working, then you have some
A fallback.
yes, where you can balance on how you raise revenue.
But let me come in there. You said it made financial sense. Now, when you started Unimax, which is the logistics company, at that point in time, you didn't have all the capital required. As a matter of fact, you went a borrowing, if I would
Yes,
use that word.
yes.
Was that the same for Get Well Pharmacy?
No. Um, at that stage, basically, what I did was Unimax was investing in Get Well Pharmacy. So what the fund that I used to open Get Well was basically
Funds from the other one.
funded from Unimax at the time. However, what I did was making a payment plan of how the pharmacy can later on pay back
Payback.
what was used to actually start the business.
As a woman, as an entrepreneur, do you think it's a lot difficult for females or women in Sierra Leone to operate a business of whatever capacity or magnitude?
Before now, I would say yes.
And let's take into consideration the ability of women to access loans or funding.
yeah. Before now, I would say yes, but Stella, I'm actually getting really tired of us always seeing ourselves as victims and all that, because that's what I used to say, that oh, it's 10 times harder for women to go into business. It's this, it's like, okay, because I'm a woman and I want to go into business, I'm expecting certain leeway to be given to me. I think if we're saying women empowerment 50-50 and everything, I think us as women now should start really competing for the same facilities that the men
Now,
have, because
as you speak of women competing for, the same facilities, let's take a quick video, which is our video of the week, and it talks a little bit about what you've just actually spoken about. Here
Okay.
is our video of the week.
You can have your own professional and be an entrepreneur. You can just do your own thing. You can contribute, and that is what we want to see. When we say Africa is rising, we want to rise together.
Women in Africa are engaged in SMMEs, cross-border trade, whilst the men do the mining, the trading, and is blocking all the women who could do better business. It's a serious challenge, and I urge the girl child to take this opportunity and run with it.
Women entrepreneurs are actually the future and building block of Africa, and we need to get more confident in ourselves, because we can build great businesses and we can build big businesses. So let's get out there and just rock as women entrepreneurs. We must forget this micro business story. That's not our story. Our story is big businesses.
We're still on the spot, and of course I have here with me the boss lady herself, Fatima. Now Fatima, this video I find very amazing, and it's a clarion call for more women in Africa to venture into business, start something on their own, and basically even tread into parts that, like you did, into parts that are usually left for the men.
yes, I totally agree with the video. It's very powerful, and as you say, basically it still encourage our young people, especially women, to go for it, because it's for you to start a business. There's never a right moment. There's never enough capital. There's never enough infrastructure to start what you want to do. So just get up and go and do it, and then I'll show you that everything else will fall in place.
I think that's basically speaks about you.
Yes,
This is literally about you.
Basically, the world is moving, it's changing, and we have to basically move with the trend, move with it, and also encourage women to go into areas where we don't used to have more women, like the oil and gas, even farming in large scale. There is so many ideas out there
But
that women can tap into.
if we look at the call for women in, more women in business, but do you think our women here in Sierra Leone are truly ready, or they have the requisite capacity to really delve into businesses never seen before?
Yes, but first of all, I think women in Sierra Leone have to deal with a big issue here, which is the fear of standing up and doing things. And because I just think our women
More
in Sierra Leone, they're
comfortable?
more comfortable, not only comfortable, they're more, most of them are introverts. Basically, I think it has to do with the environment in which we grow up as well. But then
But
for our
is it
generation,
possible that probably we are waiting for the opportunities to, or be given the opportunities on the platter of gold? We don't want to hustle for it just like the men.
Stella, I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm tired with the way we're missing the point. And Sierra Leonean women, I think we're pushing the wrong message, which is basically, it's like in my head, so this is my opinion, is that we're trying to play victims. And that's what I'm tired with. Because if you want to play with the big boys, you have to act as one. And you have to snatch.
I think this is where
grab,
Steve Harvey's word comes in. Think like a woman, act like a
act
man.
like a man. Exactly. You have to snatch, you have to grab, you have to be like right in your face to get what you want. And I think what we should be doing basically is to prepare ourselves, meet the criteria, you should be qualified. The only thing we should be pushing is that once a woman meets the requisite criteria, they qualify, they can do it as any man, then the opportunity should be given to them. Instead of just sitting down and expecting, okay, if we grumble, if we say we're not happy with what is going on, they could just give it to us free.
As we speak of empowering women, women, or how are you impacting the society from your own point of view?
First of all, as you know, I'm a founding member of Power Women 232, which basically is a professional women's organization where we all come together to uplift, empower, push our careers. And not only that, we also do community service, and each year we look at what is needed in our community, but we mostly focus on women, what is needed in our communities, and try to find ways on how we can help in changing people's life. And I think I've been involved in about 2 different projects that we've rolled out, which one was the mentorship program for young girls, where we pair these girls with the careers that they want, and it's like they shadow that particular individual to just see how it's done, how give motivation and witness upfront. And the other one that we did launch this year was the menstrual hygiene project, where we teach girls to how to take care of themselves, what to do when they're going through their menstrual cycle. And I've also been I've been invited to various and series of workshops that deals with youth, young people,
and mostly women as well.
University job fair and all that, where I actually give talks on motivation and encouraging young people like me to go into business. Because if you see me, I started when I was 25, went into the business, and I'm also trying to get people to do the same, because if I've done it,
anybody else can do it. So now, as we round up, what would be the one guiding principle or value that you would say has kept you through and gotten you to where you are today?
I'm really a stubborn person, Stella. I'm pushy. Sometimes people say I'm a bully, but that's just the way I am, because I'm not a rollover person, and that's how I've transcended into into my
Into your
business,
business.
because it's
Wonderful.
for me. I push a lot. I don't sit down and wait for things to be handed over
Well,
to me.
that's amazing.
I actually go after them. I take them. Sometimes I even go out. It's really maybe a social gathering. Through the conversation, I can have more than how many leads. Example, I went to the Madang Food Festival, and if I tell you the whole time I was there, it was basically...
You were busy networking.
Thank you. I was networking and marketing
Wow.
my services, having conversation, taking phone numbers, and that's how I do.
Being able to run your business
Exactly.
at every given point in time.
And I go after. I don't take no for an answer. That's how. In fact, when you want to work for me, I always say you should be two things. One, you shouldn't take no for an answer. When somebody said no, you have to go back. And then I always tell my staff that everybody here is an Okada, which basically means that you should be
on the go
well, constantly,
thank you
and
so
you should
much.
be able to flow at my level, because I'm like always, when I need something done, I need it done like yesterday.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Fatima, for joining me here
Thank you for
on the
having
spot.
me.
And we definitely wish you all the best.
Thank
And
you.
we will have you some other time here on the spot. Welcome back to On the Spot, of course, here at Sweet Spirit Hotel. Now, my next guest is a businesswoman and philanthropist who started Sierra Leone's first interior design retail outlet called City Plaza in 2004. And later on in 2014, the first branded boutique hotel called Sweet Spirit Hotel. Now, she owns a charity called Friends of Education Salon, which is famously known for its yearly fundraising Toke Regatta. She's none other than Randa Swade. It's great to have you. Thanks for joining me here on the spot.
Thank you for inviting me, Stella. It's my pleasure.
Well, literally everyone knows Randa Swade and knows City Plaza, and of course this beautiful hotel, which I must say thank you so much for letting us, have it as our set location. But how did you start off in business?
How did I start off? I actually graduated I'm a finance major. I had a BSc in finance, a magna cum laude, but it wasn't something I really liked. Then I moved back to Sierra Leone when I got married to my husband, Jad, and I don't know, 20-something odd years ago. And I couldn't do the housewife thing, just sitting at home. And I really didn't like doing the numbers that much. What I discovered I liked doing after I graduated was decorating and interior design. So I decided that I wanted to, when I moved out here, I had to buy everything from abroad. We used to have to, in those days, even buy our provisions from abroad. It was that bad. And then I decided that, okay, I want something to do. So I actually first started not with the City Plaza. I started with a small boutique with my aunt called Little Sue's. Okay, and then I left that with her, and I moved on and opened a furniture store called Designer's Touch, partnership with a friend of mine who had come back to the country as well, and Sonia, and she had said, "Oh, can I join you?" I told her I wanted to open a furniture store because I don't think we have nice things here, and I think that we need to be able to buy our own things here and not have to always go ordering stuff from abroad. It doesn't make sense. I didn't like it. I thought it was just a pain. And she goes, "I would like to join you." So we did, and we opened the first store, Designer's Touch, in I can't remember the year now. It's a long time ago. After that, the war happened. We split. I had my twins, and then I came back and I reopened the first City Plaza store at Cotton Tree. Okay. When I opened that store, I remember all the other furniture stores at that time were all piling their stuff on top of each other. You go in, it's dusty and crampy, and you might spot a nasty plastic sofa or something. So I started bringing in nice things and doing windows up. I started doing windows with the first, where Skybank is now.
Okay.
And I remember the men of the other stores making fun of me and saying, what's wrong with her? Who's going to buy this stuff? And I said to myself, I said, people like me will buy this stuff. There's
one.
a lot of people, I didn't tell them, but there's a lot of people that want good things and will be willing
To pay for it. Yeah.
Basically, it's a niche market, and this is what I do. There's so much that needs to be done in Sierra Leone. So for me, I don't like to pick a market that's already saturated, that's already competition is tough. I prefer to pick a niche market. I look at what we don't have in the country. I look at if it's a service, if it's a retail, whatever it is. If this is not available, and I look at that, then that's what I go for.
No.
I don't look at, this person is doing this and he's doing well, I want to do that. No.
So you picked a niche market. How were you able to succeed or thrive in it, especially given the fact that we didn't have a lot of women going into interior design or decor or probably even furniture, to say the least?
Well, I think then there were, yes, you're right. I don't even know if there were any women in it. It was mostly men who in general don't have much taste usually. I'm not saying all men, some men are way better. But how did I survive? Okay, I think anything you want to do, you have to have a dream and a passion, and you have to focus. You have to have a goal and a target. Okay, this is what I want to do. You shouldn't give up at the first sign of failure. Obviously, in the beginning, I wasn't doing it took me a long time to build myself up. And I feel a lot of small businesses don't give themselves enough time to grow. The first year or 2 years, I think for me, I worked, but I could afford to do that because my husband was obviously supportive. But and most people might not be able to do that. But if you're planning to open a business and follow your dream, you need to be able to make a long-term plan, not a short-term plan. I'm going to try this out for a year. If it doesn't work, and that's it. Because within that year or so, you start to learn. You'll see, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong, and I have to change this. And even succeeding initially, it doesn't end there. You have to keep on evolving. The markets evolve. So you have to evolve with the market. You have to face the challenges. You have to see, what am I doing wrong? If I'm starting to fail, what am I doing wrong here? And you try to do something different. So it's a constant study.
Process.
I wouldn't call it a battle. It's a constant process. And you have to be willing to change. You cannot be stuck in the moment or stuck in your ways.
Now, a lot of women or some women may say, oh, you're lucky probably, or you're privileged. You've got a husband who was pretty much supportive, and I believe supportive as well, financially, emotionally, intellectually, in every aspect. But a lot of women will tell you that one of the major problems they encounter starting a business is access to capital. Do you agree with this? Do you think it's a lot difficult for women to access capital to start businesses?
Yes, I do. I think it's difficult for anybody to access capital in Sierra Leone because with the interest rate, even when you have the privilege of getting loans, the interest rate is super sky high. So this is a major problem. And this is a problem that the IFC and the World Bank and they're constantly trying to, they engage with different SMEs, small businesses and entrepreneurs, and they try to find out what the problems are. But what I do say, there's a lot of grants available and there's a lot which can help, but you have to stand above. You have to really work on your business plan. You need to do things properly. Just to say, let's say, I like furniture, I'm just going to buy furniture and put it in this. No. When you come and you create a proper business plan, you engage with the right people, you go to the right sources. They're limited, but they're available. And I think the best way, if you want to start a business of your own or any career, not even just a business, find somebody that you know is succeeding in that field. Find a way to get to that person. Sit down with them and have them mentor you and help you. Because, okay, fine to say my husband is supportive, he is super supportive. You do need support from within, even if it's not financial. I think you need less financial and more of emotional and support with the mind and the ideas. In Creole, they say blow mind. So when you sit down, you need to have somebody that you trust their opinion, not just my husband, but you can pick other members that you've worked with, that somebody that you admire in a certain field. Try and find a way to get to that. And many people are very willing to mentor.
Now,
I mean, many people come, if you come and you ask me, use your contacts. I will tell you something. Many times something's staring at you in the face and it'll be looking at you. I have an example of something like that happened recently with somebody very close to me. It's knowing when the opportunity is facing you and knowing how to grab that opportunity. And when you grab it, you need to know how to take it and run with it. It's not about getting. You can get something. I can come today and say, oh, Stella, why don't you come work with me on this? It depends on how you deal with that and how you work with it and how you move forward with it and you make it grow.
Wonderful.
It's not about just getting the opportunity. It's about knowing how to use it.
What to do with the
When
opportunity.
you have a contact, it's about knowing how to use it. You've made many contacts. You've known how to use your contacts, right?
Definitely. And it's
people-
always a work in progress. You never can ever exhaust your contacts.
No.
Now, moving beyond the hotel, City Plaza, that's your interior design business. Somehow you branched into the hotel and what I'll say the hotel and tourism business. And I'd love you to share with us a little bit how that all started. But we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to On the Spot, of course, on AYV Television here at Swiss Spirit Hotel. Now, of course, my guest is Randis Wade, and we are talking women in business. So before we took the break, we spoke a little bit about your business. I'll call it the first business, which is, City Plaza. Now, you've gone on to add another business, which is, a hotel. And beside that as well, you do the boutique hotel, rented apartments, I think rented furnished apartments as well. How did that start for you?
Well, this building originally, when we took it, was supposed to be serviced, not serviced actually, just an apartment block. And then we came up with the idea to do service both apartment or a boutique hotel. Like I said, things sometimes just fall into place. I mean, you just know how to take it and walk with it. So when we started doing the place up, obviously, I know it seems like it doesn't tie, but I tied both of them in. I've always loved hospitality, and my original dream was always to be in this field, the hotel field, hospitality. So I just blended the interior design side with this. I didn't want to skimp and stay, and I feel that all our hotels usually lack character. So I decided I want to go with the fad in Europe right now of doing a small, cozy hotel that you will feel like you're at home, away from home. And most of our clients, so many reviews, if you look at our reviews, will tell you that yes, we felt we were at home, or we feel like we're coming back home when we come here. And for me, it's perfect because it means that my goal, what I'm trying to achieve, is being achieved. When your client tells you exactly what you aim to achieve, the same words, then it means that you're doing the job right. So for me, I decided that I would do that. So I went all out with interior design, making sure I try to blend Africa meets West, so the comfort of the West with the spirit of Africa. And that also I get a lot of comments on. People love the decor, and that is what they feel. So for us here, we want to welcome you with the warmth of Africa. So you walk in and you feel that from when you step into the door. The chance that I got with this, because we are a franchise, we're part of Swiss International. I did a sample room when I opened, and we had a consultant visiting for a business, for something completely different, had nothing to do with hotels. There was another new hotel opening, much bigger than me at the time. He went to visit and he was saying, oh, I think the rooms are small. Then my husband goes, oh, my wife is going to be opening a small boutique hotel. Why don't you come take a look? He came in and he was wowed by the room and what he could see was going to happen. And he goes, I'm going to introduce you to this new franchise that's opening. And when they saw the pictures and stuff, and they wanted to come in with us, so I actually fell into the franchise part by chance.
Okay, so what then
Yeah.
would you say has been, the key pointers that has really helped differentiate your business, be it from, the interior design or to that of the, hotel or even furnished apartments? It has set your business apart from the others that has helped you reach where you are today.
I think it's the service that we provide. I mean, we try to give the best service possible to our clients, which means that the client comes first, not money. Obviously, the ultimate aim of any business, please make sure you put that as the first aim,
Now,
is to
I
make
find
money.
it, I
But
find
the
it,
client comes first.
I find it quite interesting that in Sierra Leone you find someone who or a business who tells you that the client comes first, given the fact that a lot would say our customer service in Sierra Leone is pretty very low or probably non-existent.
Um, that is so easy to overcome, because I think that the greatest quality of a Sierra Leonean, for me, I would tell you the greatest quality that we have in Sierra Leone is our warmth and our friendliness. If you can take those two and we tap into those, any guest that comes to Sierra Leone is more than happy. They're more than happy to just pass a little bit on little mistakes. They understand that, okay, we're not as educated in this field, or we're not as developed in the hospitality field. They're very happy to pass the minor things, as long as you treat them like your customer is always king or queen.
Powerful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. So hang on still. We have a few more minutes to, pick a little bit of your brain. This is On the Spot with me, Stella Bangura, coming to you from Sweet Spirit Hotel on AYB Television. Welcome back. Of course, this is still On the Spot with me, Stella Bangura. Earlier on, I had on Fatima Sise talking about women in business. Now, my next guest who I'm talking to right now is Randa Sway. Right. So before the break, we spoke a little bit about your charitable work, which you are doing. But I believe that you've gotten to a point where you are a huge success, and a lot of women look up to you to become you, or probably even better. So, what would be the three things, in your opinion, that you would love to leave with any woman out there who would think of going into business that you'd say has made you who you are today?
Okay, I will try to make it three.
Okay.
Find your dream. That is the first one. Find your dream, hold on to that dream, and find a mentor to guide you along. Be persistent, do not give up, and focus on your goal. Do not get deviated. You will fix things along the way. When you fall, you get up and you find out what you're doing wrong, you fix it, and you move forward towards your goal. Those are the three things. You stick to those three, you will be successful at whatever you choose to do, as long as you're passionate about it.
So, as we round up, just in a few words, for those who are probably married, women who are married and think that it would be too much of a hassle going into business, or probably even having a career, whatever, from whatever field, simply because they have a family, and maybe wondering it may be near impossible to find a balance or juggle all of that together. What do you have to say as your passing shot for those people?
Do not expect too much of yourselves. You need to know that we're not superhuman, and we're going to make mistakes along the way, and we need to balance. I mean, just because you do not spend time with your child from 6 in the morning till 9 at night doesn't make you a bad mother. In some cases, you could be a better mother. I was a working woman, and I was there for every event with my children's school. I engaged with the school in such a way. I still engage with their old school here locally, sending teachers, working with the school. But I didn't have to spend 24 hours of my time doing that. You need to engage the right people to help and assist you with your kids. And you make the right choices with that, and you balance it. You should not expect yourself to be a super mom or a super businesswoman, or a super wife, or a super cook. Just do as much as you can, as well as you can, and that's good enough.
And like
Yeah.
you say, you make your mistakes, you'll learn from it, and you just move
Definitely.
on.
That's called
And
living.
leave it. And I guess that's the same thing my first guest earlier today, or earlier tonight actually said. There will never be a perfect time. You just have to
Yeah.
jump into the water and swim. You learn as you go.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Rhonda, for joining me here on the spot. You're a phenomenal woman, and I believe that tonight you have inspired not just only me, but a lot of women and even the men out there who are watching. And we say good luck. And once again, thank you for letting us have this beautiful place as our spot location. So, coming up next, my final words. In my final words, it is truly amazing to see women take the lead and become the change they hope to see in their society. Now, the road to success is paved with lots of challenges, but unless you take a step and act now, you just may never realize your full potential. Because there will never be the perfect time, capital, or even opportunity. The playing field may never be leveled, and the obstacles thrown at women on their road to success will be greater than those thrown at men. However, it is your drive, passion, commitment, hard work, and readiness to take a risk beyond your comfort zone that will make that difference that will set you apart. In all you do not let society define who you are or your level of success. Thanks for watching, but the show continues online and we'd love to have you join the conversation. Have your say on tonight's discussion by dropping your comments on our Facebook page, On the Spot with Stella. Keep watching, keep talking, keep it on the spot. Until next time, when we'll be back, stay fabulous.